also wanted to first reveal their nicknames. So, here we go. So, for Delta Pidgey, because she's a dark dragon, I went with Sasuke. I also got a couple nicknames like Armageddon and Falcor, and another one, just a plain lizard. I was like, okay, but he's a Pidgey too, so I can't just name him just Lizard. I mean, if his final evolution looked like it was just a plain lizard, then maybe. But thank you for the lizard. So I went with Sasuke, obviously, because you can see I chose Sasuke, but I really liked Armageddon and Falcor. But I felt like it would be better off with another Pokemon, not this one. And I felt Sasuke was the best fit because Sasuke's the edgiest boy I know. And this is like the edgiest version of Pidgey I know. It's not the edgiest Pokemon, but it's definitely the edgiest Pidgey in the Pokemon world. So, and there's also like the Medusa reference I was talking about, where his Pokedex entry was about petrifying people, and Medusa's about snakes, and Sasuke was about snakes too, so I thought it was like a perfect fit. And it also had to do with Rolt's nickname, because I've already picked Rolt's nickname before from some of your suggestions. And again, there was not a lot, but a couple of suggestions I really liked, and some of them I felt like I could save for later too. And 18 is actually a suggestion from Android 18. And I thought that Android 18 would be best for Ralts because of the whole electric / ice thing, and the color scheme, yellow and blue, because Android 18 had yellow hair, blonde, and blue eyes. But the electric thing, because Android 18 I'm talking about from Dragon Ball Z, was one of my favorite characters. And electric, she's an android. Ice, she was like known for being cold and heartless, like an ice queen. So I thought it was perfect fit. And I didn't want to put Android 18 because I don't know, I felt like 18 was cuter and it looked better for Ralt. So depending on her evolution, maybe I'll switch it to Android 18. But I also wanted to pay homage to like 11 from Stranger Things. You know, the whole number name. So there's 11 and now there's 18. So it's like a little mix of my favorite anime character from Dragon Ball Z and 11 from Stranger Things. But yeah, so that's why I chose Sasuke too, because I'm sticking with the whole anime nickname theme right now. I don't know if that will stick. It's gonna depend on what you guys keep recommending. I think I'm gonna keep naming the Delta Pokemon after what you guys recommend or suggest, because I'm liking the names you guys have been giving so far. So don't disappoint, guys. I'm kidding, thanks. So Sasuke was from Kilo, and Android 18 was from John. Thank you very much, guys. Anyways, the whole point of this video right now is just so I can train my Delta Pokemon in front of you guys. And, oops, I didn't want to battle this guy, but whatever. My dog just went to go pee. Sorry if you heard all her footsteps. I'm probably gonna I thought I battled this guy already. forgot his level already. But I'm sending out Scrotum with his Thunder Wave and Uproar. I think he has Uproar. Scrafty. Okay, yeah, I was hoping. Okay, good. I was either gonna send Fella as Hacker Scrotum because I was like, I'm pretty sure this guy has a lot of fighting type moves. Ooh, crunch. I didn't expect the dark type move, but I should have. Oh wait, my dog's back. I should have just fainted him, but it's whatever. But yeah, I wanted to catch the evolutions of the Delta on camera so we could experience it together as usual, because some of us have never played this game like me, so it'd be cool to catch my reaction on camera instead of like in behind the scenes while I'm training. I really thought Flame Wheel would do more. There we go. Flame Charge Speed Rose. But yeah, I might. Oh, Sasuke might evolve right now. But go to level 15, go to level 16. I should have kept Scrotum alive better. I'm trying to learn Whirlwind. Whirlwind can be used to, as we've learned in Coral Town, it can be used to move boulders. So, but other than that, I don't really have a use for Whirlwind. Yes, Sasuke did not learn Whirlwind. It's so close. Mawile. I'll keep Spice out for a bit. Ochicha, no. Flame Wheel again. Yeah, critical hit. Super effective. 1,500. Yay. Rough neck Tommy. Was my neck rough? Get it? Sure. I love your Gyarados. Sleeveless leather jacket. That was a bit weird. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know I didn't battle you yet, so I'm gonna talk auto run right now. We're healing Scrotum for sure. But I think I'm only gonna get Pidgey up to her second evolution because I don't want to really use up all my time leveling him up, because I don't know if I'm gonna use him for the next gym. But as for Ralts, I'm definitely leveling Ralts all the way, and we'll probably all see all his evolutions, because she has both typings that I want in the gym, the upcoming flying Pokemon gym. So that's my strategy right now. And so we're just gonna stick here for a bit and train my Pokemon here. I also, like, I guess right after I get Delta Pidgey and Delta Ralts to the level I want currently, then I'll continue the training as usual behind the scenes. But I don't know why I'm trying to battle him. But I don't have this Luxray. I don't know if I should keep trying to catch it though. We could try ominous winding him. Or her, sorry, her. And catching her that way. Oops, we've been swaggered. annoying. It's like Abra using teleport. That was so annoying. And I really thought when I first saw Abra, she was really, really cute. So I really wanted it. Another luxury. I don't know if I can get any training done here, guys. I'm gonna keep wanting, so I'm just gonna run, and I can't escape, and I'm gonna lose Sasuke. I'm gonna switch training facilities. I don't know if that's the right word. Training areas. There we go. Malasak. And I know I could be using the facility, the Adino facility, but it's like too expensive. Well, not too expensive, but I don't want to use up my money right now, currently, because I need that for the potions and the Pokeballs. This is my second trip here already. So while I'm training my Pokemon, I also wanted to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I talked about it a little bit in my previous video. I talked about which version I'm currently thinking about getting, which is Shield, and I'm trying to be careful. I don't know who I've battled already, and don't think I battled this guy. I don't remember. And my thoughts on the Galarian Ponyta, which, by the way, 10 out of 10 would buy just for that. But yeah, but I recently just got my Game Informer. Yes, I'm subscribed. I'm still using GameStop for Game Informer because I am a nerd and old habits don't die. And I have like the physical copies, which instead of digital copies, because again, old habits don't die, and I like physical copies. Like, I grew up on console and handheld, not PC gaming, so I'm used to having physical discs. So even though now everything you can just download from like the Nintendo eShop or the PS Store and stuff like that, or like not Steam's PC, but yeah, I'm used to just everything being in a box or like something I can hold, unless I really can't get it in stores. Like I think it was the game Outward on PS4. I couldn't get it in stores. I had to go in the shop to get it. I will most likely have it in disc form, a physical form of some sort, and not the digital form. I don't know, I'm old school that way, because I didn't get into PC gaming until like very much later in my life, like not 15, like 13, 14. That's not my childhood anymore, I think. It's still a part of my childhood, but not early childhood. So, oh yes, Sasuke's evolving. Perfect. I guess we could keep him for a little bit more, but I don't know if we'll make it to his final evolution. Oh wow, he looks like a Beyblade. Hurry up, hurry up. Wow. He is a lizard tail. That is a lizard tail. I like how the scales are up to its belly, and then it turns into feathers up the neck and the wings. But that's cool. Oh wow, look at how cute he is. He was cute in the beginning too, but look how cute he is flying. Sasuke's taking it easy. Oh yeah, let's see him in battle for a little so I'm rambling about physical forms. Let me know if you prefer physical forms over digital forms. But yeah, that's why my Game Informers are all like the booklets and not the ones you can read on your phone. But I prefer the booklets. I don't know, I like flipping pages and like the feel of the magazine. Because, I don't know, magazines are getting obsolete, man. Even magazines you can read online. And I want this ditto for breeding purposes. So, definitely gonna try and catch this ditto for breeding purposes. I'm not gonna lie. But, ooh, scrotum. Thunderwave. It doesn't affect me. I just realized it won't affect him either. Shit. Oops, sorry. I just realized Valhazak's like level 38 only. I just realized Valhazak's like only level 38. I have 2 Pokemon now that are higher level than him, Oracle and Spice. What was I saying? So, I got my Game Informer in the mail. This for October, the month of October, I think. I forgot to check. But, I think it's October right now. And, I'm gonna faint it if I use any ghost type moves. Its main feature for this magazine this month is about Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I read it, the whole thing, when I got it, and now I want to discuss it with you guys. I don't know, I'm a nerd, but I'm gonna try a Pokeball. I'm trying to think which, but there's some like interesting points. Because they're basically just revealing like a lot of stuff, because it's getting to the point. Launch date, the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield is like almost less than a month, because it's like November 15, right? It's, as of right now, my recording this it's October 16th, so but by the time I upload this, it's definitely less than a month of the release date. But basically, they're gonna start dropping things like today, October 16th. There's gonna be a trailer, another trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and a lot of people are speculating it might finally reveal the starter evolutions, which I think is a little too early. I think they might start dropping that like in the month of November, but I don't know, Nintendo, do you? I don't know. Should I confuse Rayam? He's using Uproar, but that's not gonna work. Let's try another Pokeball. Let's try one Grave Ball. I should have waited until he transformed into Pidgey. Hurt yourself, please. But so yeah, there was like 5 pages worth of Pokemon Sword and Shield info, which I thought was great because I'm really like interested in that game. Because like no matter the backlash, this is gonna be our first official main Pokemon game. I don't really count Pokemon Go Eevee and Pikachu because I feel like they were just using that as like a test for what they can do in the Switch, which I think was smart because then it introduced people who had Switches but don't have a DS into the Pokemon game world, if you know what I'm saying. Because maybe a lot of the reason why some people have never picked up a Pokemon game is because they've never had a handheld, which I don't understand, but I didn't start PC gaming until I was like 14. Like, I had a laptop and everything, I just never played. And this is not working, and I'm scared because I'm using up my Pokeballs on a Ditto. So I'm just gonna confuse Rayhem again. And just do it this way. There's just so many Pokemon I've skipped over that I'm not really training, I'm mainly just catching. Which I feel like is a mistake. Oh, nice. It's not enough. I'm gonna do Confuser again. But so there's the whole segment was basically just talking about the development of Sword and Shield, like why Galar region, why the name Sword and Shield, and why the Pokemon, why the way it is, basically like the behind the scenes of the process of making this new Pokemon game. And one of the reasons, one of the segments was like, why did it take Pokemon so long to be in console? Was like one of my favorite segments, because I used to think it was just because since Pokemon is such a Nintendo trademark that they would stay within Nintendo, and Nintendo never really had any consoles. Like it was just the Wii U, the Wii, and I remember Pokemon Coliseum, which by the way was really fun on the Wii. And I don't know if they had anything in the Wii U, but that was like the only Pokemon game on the Nintendo consoles. But I thought they would just stay within Nintendo. And please go. Okay, nice. Okay, now I can start using Pokeballs again. Okay. And Pokeball use. And like the main consoles people use to play is PlayStation 4 and Xbox. I think those are the only consoles, but whatever. And in this current generation, but I got the Ditto. I'm keeping it Ditto because I love the name Ditto. I could also name it Putty Putty, which is like the name of like those slime toys you get at like when you win at arcades and stuff. But now I'm keeping it Ditto. No. Oh, I think I skipped reading the thing, but I'm rambling a lot, and I don't want this video to be too long of just training, I mean. So, we're not catching Fletchling right now. I'll do that behind the scenes. Right now, I'm really just gonna be focused on leveling my deltas. But I might have to switch to Ralts already. What was I saying? So yeah, I thought they wouldn't switch. Like, they weren't going into console because they didn't want it to be outside of Nintendo in a way. Like, they don't want to third party themselves. Is that what the correct way of saying it? Crossplay? I don't know. Well, crossplay is like the same game but different platforms. So I think it's third party. Because Nintendo's basically, like, Nintendo games have just been in Nintendo. Like, they've never really been in other consoles that I know of. And so that's what I thought was happening with Pokemon. But in the magazine, they just strayed away from consoles because they never wanted the experience to be a console experience. And I thought it was interesting. And basically, they were talking about how console gaming, you're basically just, unless it's a co-op game, and Pokemon's not really co-op until you go online. But console gaming is basically mainly you're in a room by yourself just playing, and I guess the people behind Pokemon didn't like that idea. Let me switch to Ralts because she needs to start evolving too. Because they want the whole experience of Pokemon is like you're able to take it with you wherever you go. Like the whole, like with the DS when you pass someone else's DS, like that sleep mode thing. I forgot what it's called because I haven't played my DS in a while. But like the whole point of Pokemon is you're always interacting with people even if you don't want. And they also brought up one of my favorite things that Pokemon used to do was like the Pokemon events or special events they did at GameStop, or like special occasions where you could pick up a Pokemon. And this is a Weeping Bell, which I could have totally killed with Powder Snow, but I forgot 18's only level 17. So we're gonna send out Spice. But so like I remember I had to go to GameStop, connect to them wirelessly to get Victini, and it's like special events like that they want to keep because then they like the whole experience of, oh, maybe you'll run into a friend, go with a group of friends, get it, or like you'll run into someone you've never met, something like that. I've never done that. I would secretly get that Pokemon and then just be on my way going home. Nope, social interaction was a big no-no and it's still a big no-no. But yeah, that's something they couldn't do with consoles, so that's the main reason they never did. But thanks to the Switch, which can be docked or undocked, handheld or console, they can finally port Pokemon games into a console game, and thus the whole thing, I'm moving on to the whole thing of the Pokedex. What's Pokedex? The Pokedex entry thing, where now that they don't have the restraints of making a game for a handheld and they can start delving into consoles, they really wanted to try new things. But you can only fit so much into a game, or so they say in this game. I'm just saying what they're saying in Game Informer. I know nothing about game development, so I'm taking what they're saying because I don't know. I have no knowledge, so I can't tell if they're lying or not. But I'll keep using Scrotum. But basically they're saying they had to sacrifice the Pokedex, the whole Pokedex debacle thing. And if you don't know what that is, I don't know why you don't know, but it's basically they couldn't fit every single past generation Pokemon into the new one. Like, you can't port it over to Sword and Shield. Like, let's say your favorite Pokemon right now is I'm trying to think, Tropius. I don't think you could put Tropius into Sword and Shield, even though they made the Pokemon Home, or Pokemon Bank, which was the whole point. Like, you could transfer your favorite Pokemon from your old games to the current one, new one. But yeah, you can't do that anymore. And there's only select Pokemon that can be ported over into Sword and Shield. And they said they had to make that sacrifice because, one, they said as new generations come and they add more Pokemon, it's getting harder and harder to like be able to put like every single Pokemon into every new game. So, which I guess is understandable, but when every new generation comes out, like, isn't game advancement and like technology also advancing at the same time? So like, it should be possible. But I don't know, like I said, I'm not in game development. And another reason is they wanted more room and more of their focus to be on the new features. So they didn't want to like use up all their time and effort on being able to port every single generation Pokemon into the new game when they could be using their time and energy into the new features, which they can finally do because they're on the new template, so say, of a console game. So, and that's why there's so many new changes, like Dynamaxing. They couldn't do Dynamaxing in handheld games before because of like resolution, like pixelation. But with consoles, they don't have that restriction. So like that's an example of what the console, what being a Pokemon game in a console could be. And I thought that was interesting, and that's why I don't think I was. I don't remember my train of thoughts, but I don't think I was one of those ones that got enraged at the Pokedex. Because first of all, I never really cared if my favorite past Pokemon couldn't get into a game. Because then if I missed that Pokemon, I would just play that version of Pokemon. I was never competitive. I could see why competitive players would. Because some Pokemons are just meta forever. But, oops, sorry. Yeah, and also, there was enough features in the new Pokemon game that it didn't bother me. And I guess that's what they were aiming for, like, old Pokemon or new features. And I, for one, would prefer new features over the old Pokemon. Because it's a new generation game. I'm looking for that new generation game. Like, I've been playing Pokemon since Yellow version, so since I don't play competitively, it could get stale after a while if it's the same thing over and over. So, I feel like this is more of like those people that are like 100% achievers, like who love filling up their Pokedex, or like the competitive people who want that specific Pokemon that's in the meta, so they could use it in the new game when they fight competitively. And everyone plays Pokemon their own way, and I just forgot. I thought I was fighting a Weepinbell, but it's fine. They're both fire. I have Swift. Ooh. A whirlwind. Okay, now I'm just trying to get my thoughts. I think I'm done with that topic. Oof, that was just one topic. I mean, I could go back and train my rolls in the beginning areas, but then I'd have to come back here anyway when she's higher level. So I'd rather just stay here. So now I'm gonna move on to the features that they are adding and why they added it, or like old features they're removing. Like, it's already obvious they're moving on from Z moves and like Z evolutions. I forgot what they're called. I think they're not Z evolutions. It's the fact that I'm saying it out loud. It sounds dumb. And so I think it sounds wrong, but I think that's what they're called. It's like when you say a word out loud and you realize, oh, that sounds stupid. Oh no, it's Mega Evolutions. Why was I saying Z Evolutions? I just combined Z moves with Mega Evolutions. That's why it sounded stupid. I'm just stupid, sorry guys. But yeah, Mega Evolutions gave me Mega Blaziken, and I will be forever grateful for that. I freaking love Blaziken, so anything related to Blaziken. And like the fact that Mega Evolutions are now gone, I don't think it's gonna be gone forever. Nintendo may have said that, but they say a lot of things, so it may be back. Maybe. I don't know. Oh no. I may have to switch Pokemon. Okay, good. And they opted that out for Dynamaxing. And then another feature I read they're taking out is EXP share, like that little ugly helmet that you would put on your Pokemon, so that when the Pokemon you use in the fight, their XP is shared with that Pokemon who's holding that item. Well, they're taking that out and they're just making it so that EXP gained by your Pokemon fighting is just like shared with the whole team automatically. So I think that's cool. That's definitely useful. As someone who likes to power level my Pokemon, I think that's useful. And then another feature they're now adding is they're gonna start letting the game autosave. Like, you know how like in games when you reach a certain point or a checkpoint, it'll like automatically save for you? That little Pokemon's gonna start doing that. And I might actually turn that feature off, because I don't want it saving at a point where I didn't like what I did or I fainted a Pokemon I wasn't supposed to faint. Like if I'm trying to catch a legendary Pokemon and I made it faint, and then it autosaves after that point, I'm screwed because now I can't catch that Pokemon. So I guess some people will be using that autosave feature, but I definitely won't be. It's too much of a risk. Oh yes, 18 is evolving. And I'm sorry if my whispers are gone. It hurts my throat to whisper for too long, so I'm really trying to maintain the soft-spoken part. But this may just end up becoming a chat. Oh my god, she's gorgeous. I'm sorry. She looks so good. She's beautiful. Oh my god, look at her. She's my new daughter. It's okay, Velhazak, you'll always be my son. And since I'm also rambling, I'm not keeping track of the cars outside, so more than a few cars may slip into this video. I'm sorry. But I'm trying to think. I'm not fighting this Ditto. I want to see what Nuzzle looks like, actually. Oh, she looks gorgeous. Look at her. Now I'm gonna switch Pokemon. I'm trying to think, the autosave feature, the EXP share. I'm trying to remember if there was anything, like, else they were taking out or changing. I think that was most of it. Or the ones I thought were interesting. Hold on, let me check. I kept notes. Yeah, I think that was the main ones they talked about. And character customization was another thing. We already know that's gonna be a thing based on previous games lately, but they're really upping the ante, so they say. I don't know, am I using that right? Because before we could just like change our eye color and like our top and our shoes. Oh, we can actually change a lot already, because I remember we could change our socks too, right? I don't know, but I'm really excited because they said that we can customize even more, so I don't know what that means, because we already can customize a lot. And they said that the fashion will be a lot more in depth. Like there's like, I'm not kidding, they use the word genre for like explaining the fashion, so there's gonna be a lot more styles, I'm guessing, in the game, which I'm excited. I want to mismatch. I want to mix and match my clothes, so different styles means more variety. I'm excited for that, very excited. And that's all I have to say for character customization, because that's all they really said. And we've all, I think there's the minor in major leagues, which I didn't know about, but I think it was was Kilo. She said it in one of the comments. And basically the gyms, there's like a total of 18 gyms, and they're gonna be broken up into major and minor leagues. And when they revealed that there was gonna be a ghost type in Shield and then the fighting type in Sword, and then they were exclusives, I thought they were exclusives. I was like bummed out because I was like, oh, that's a weird decision. But no, it was clarified in Game Informer that it wouldn't be excluded, so to say. It was just gonna be like one will be in the major league, I have no idea what that means yet, and one will be in the minor league, and then vice versa. So like maybe in Sword the fighting gym is a major league, but in Shield the fighting gym will be a minor league. And Sword and Shield is just a very sports centric region, so sports people explain to me what that might mean, because I definitely wouldn't know. I did sports, so I didn't have to do gym in high school. I'm not athletic, but yeah, so that's how I understood the explanation in the Game Informer. But that's interesting. That's a new take on gym battles, which is super interesting. And they said that we're basically like celebrities. Like the trainers there are like athletes, and we have training cards. So that's fun. That's cool. I'm narcissistic enough to feel like a celebrity, so I love it. And this video's long, and Curlia has yet to evolve. Okay, we might have to move, so I'm gonna go in here and check the map, and then check where we need to go. Okay, we could start like going back to Route 4 and going back up those rivers, and we could just start training Ralts in the water, because she is an electric type, so if she starts fighting herself, then she'll level up faster. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, we're gonna head over to Route 4 now. And if it seems I'm a bit calmer or something like that, I'm recording this on this part on a different day. I had to continue it because it started getting a little bit too loud. But we're gonna continue where I left off, and it's about Game Informer. And I think the last tidbit or thing I remember reading, and there's no Pokemon popping up. What? Let's try the grass. There we go. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about that Game Informer talked about was let's do this. Okay, let's oof. I flinched. We're switching. And it was their ideas of raid battles and Dynamaxing, I guess. Because the raid battles in Sword and Shield are against Dynamaxed Pokemon. raid battles was actually an idea they've wanted to do. Because we all know it's like from Pokemon Go, and that's where even I thought like it came from. Like I thought it was like something that was so popular about Pokemon Go that they decided to put it into the new game. But it's actually the other way around. It was a feature that they really liked and really wanted to do even before Pokemon Go was a thing. And can't fight this guy with the new routes. And it was called cooperative battles or co-op battles. That was like a placeholder name for it before they started calling it raid. And basically they wanted to implement that in a Pokemon game way before I think Pokemon Go was a thing, but I guess it's like I said, since handheld is kind of limiting, they never had the chance to. And phone graphics and phone was the way they could test it out in a way, because the raid battles is essentially a Pokemon Go battle, but the Pokemon's Dynamaxed. And the reason they couldn't do a Dynamax Pokemon in handheld Pokemon games was the whole resolution thing. And yeah, because if you Dynamaxed a Pokemon in a DS or similar, then when you shrink the sprites for the characters to show how it's still too high, he's level 25, to show how big the Pokemon is in comparison, then I'm quoting this from Game Informer, then your character would just be a pixel and it wouldn't look too good. So yeah, design wise they couldn't implement Dynamaxing or cooperative battles until much later in Pokemon Go and now in Sword and Shield. And the cool thing is that the Dynamax feature was actually a feature that they took from, since the region, Galar region, is the Pokemon equivalent of Britain. They took that from Britain mythology, and apparently they're huge on giants, giant lore. And Dynamaxing is basically giant Pokemon, so I like that. I love that. I love how Pokemon really takes from the region they're copying from, or the culture they're copying from, and implements it into the Pokemon world. Because in Britain today, they never got into specifics, and I kept forgetting to look it up, but Britain was founded, ancient Britain was founded by giants, that's their mythology and lore behind it. So I actually want Valisac to get some XP, and so it's pretty cool that they made it that Galar region, the Britain of, I keep saying Britain, but it's starting to sound weird in my mouth, of Pokemon, has giant Pokemon and nowhere else in the Pokemon world. Which, by the way, I can't wait. Now that we're finally in console, I'm waiting for the day that they just combine all the regions into one giant mega map, and we can just explore every single region. And I know that sounds impossible, because we just got done talking about they can't put every single Pokemon from from every generation into one game anymore, but I mean, 2030 is only 10, like, actually, yeah, 10 more years away. That's like the future. And 2020, well, it's technically 2019, but 2020 brought us console Pokemon. I don't know what 2030 will bring us. Real life Pokemon. Imagine that. I'm gonna be like 33. It's fine. I can be. That's the age of gym leaders, right? a career change at 33. But Spring Spice. Yeah. That's it. That's all I read in Game Informer. There's like a ton more in there, but none of those were the only ones that really stood out. I really thought interesting, or everything else was like, oh, it's been talked about before, or it's we figured that out through the trailers, something like that. But it's always interesting how, I don't know, the main reason I'm still well, technically, yeah, subscribed to Game Informer is because, one, it's another way. It's like an old habit, like I kept saying. I'm used to it. It's old-fashioned, but it's something I'm gonna savor until they stop making it, because I feel like that's pretty soon. But the cover arts are my favorite. Like this month's cover art was Zacian and Zamazenta, the names, that's the names of the legendary dogs on the Sword and Shield cover, and they look really cool. And I wonder if I can just fight him actually. And another reason, it's like I find games I've never or would have never seen before if I didn't read Game Informer. Like, before Fortnite was like the biggest thing in the world, it was on Game Informer because they always put like games coming soon or to be announced that are like on their radar. And back then Fortnite was building its co-op survival game, kind of like Left 4 Dead, and that was its main shtick before it came out with Battle Royale and stuck with that. But it was originally gonna be that zombie defense game, and back then me and my cousins were like really into Left 4 Dead, and we were like looking, and where is my thing? Okay, there it is. And we were looking for like other co-op zombie games we could all play together. And so when I saw that, I was interested. I was trying to learn what was it? To make room for, I thought I have Shockwave. Hold on. Let me, oh no I don't. Oh wait, it's Scrotum has Shockwave. By moving rapidly, the user makes illusory copies of itself to resource. Goodbye, Double Team. You guys noticed I like to make very, very offensive Pokemon movesets, but what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I was looking for like co-op games and zombie games, and then I saw Fortnite, and it was talking about how it was a zombie defense game and how you would be like 4 characters, and then you'd have like classes, like one would be an engineer, one would be like a sharpshooter or something. And I was like, cool, this looks cool, this looks like Left 4 Dead, but like with building in it, and the building thing was cool. And I was like, cool, we're gonna probably mess around, build something that doesn't work, and then just die as soon as wave 3 hits or something like that. And like about 6 months or a year later, since reading that in Game Informer, because I think I subscribed on their website for updates or something like that. Like, I put my email in, and I got an email talking about Fortnite and how their Battle Royale was coming out. And I don't play Battle Royales. My only experience was PUBG. That was it. I didn't even play like the H1Z1, but my only experience was PUBG, and I wasn't for it. It was fun with friends, but I never saw myself like going back to it or it becoming a daily thing like MMOs or Overwatch for me, because I had it on PC. And let's see, we just leveled up Scroda. Let's get Zach up there. And I still don't have Mudkip. Oh, I'm focusing on training worlds right now. I just had an internal battle of whether I should faint it or catch it. In like those 5 seconds I was silent, but this video is about training worlds, so I'll probably run into Mudkip again later. Goodbye, I'm sorry. If I got it, I would have named it, sashimi. Something fish related. What is Mudkip? It sounds, I don't know, but I'm getting distracted. I say but a lot when I'm in, thought, so I'm sorry about that. And also, I say those 2 words a lot. So, I'm sorry, but look, I just ran into Mudkip again. Maybe it's a sign. Yeah, I should try getting Mudkip. Hold on. Let's try Nozzle. If he faints, you know. Oof, it's not even. Oops. Let's try Shockwave. And then we'll switch because he's about to hurt Ralts. Oh, nice. Okay, switch. We'll switch to Valisac, or actually, Scroda. It won't work. Okay, and now let's use a Pokeball. Oh wow, I got one of everything. Let's try a Pokeball first, and then a Great Ball. Nice. Oh no, I don't have a name. I wasn't thinking yet. I said sashimi, but I'm second guessing myself. Mudkip, Mudfish Pokemon. On land, it can powerfully lift large boulders by planting its 4 feet and heaving. It sleeps by burying itself in soil at the water's edge. I'll give it a nickname later. I haven't had enough thought for one, and I'm kind of like speed running this video because I'm just here to level up my roles. What else was I talking about? Oh, so yeah, so then I tried it out. You guys could tell in the ASMR. I don't know if I should upload it on this channel because I've already uploaded it in my first channel, my regular gaming channel, and you could tell that that video is like old, like it's very early Fortnite. Like everyone, there's no one in that video who had skins yet. I didn't even have skins yet. Everyone looked like default Fortnite, like you just made a character, Fortnite characters. So, it was fun at first. Like, I had only like one victory royale. I didn't catch it on camera because I wasn't recording it, I was just playing it. So, like the only time I ever recorded Fortnite was for that one, my very first ASMR video, or attempt at ASMR. And I think I lasted, 3 months in that game. And that's because I got burnt out real quick. Like, I went back a couple times because some of my friends started playing it, but it just wasn't like enough to pull me back all the way in. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not into Battle Royale. But when Apex Legends came out, I was back in, but for Apex Legends. And that was like a whole new experience, because that was like, I don't know, to me, Apex Legends is like more intense, and I found Fortnite just a little bit more frustrating. And I think it has to do with the fact that the building aspect, I never got the hang of it. Like, I was too slow. And after 3 months, I felt like everyone was getting the hang of it. So, I just couldn't build as fast as everyone else. And why is Rob's leveling up so slow? I should start fighting. I should start doing that. I'll go heal her up, and then I'll start letting her fight her battles. But, yeah, that was my Fortnite experience. I prefer, this is personal, but it's like personal opinion, I prefer Apex Legends in terms of gameplay, but skins and like content wise, yeah, Fortnite seems more fun, but it wasn't enough for me to keep going back and stay. So that's my short-lived Battle Royale experience. I think the only thing I kind of wish, and I guess that's like not the point of Apex, is I wish there was more of a solo mode, because I don't play with friends all the time, and playing with randoms is fun sometimes. Like, I've met some cool people, but most of the time it's people who leave even before you jump, or people who leave like when they die. Like, there's a respawn, like, can you wait? Or like, there's people who just end up playing it like they're doing solo, because there's one group, it was like early Apex Legends, and I was like level 10, 12, and I was trying out Lifeline because I thought she was cute, and I was playing a lot of Bangalore, because she looked like she had like the easiest skill set. Oh shit. Oh, sorry. And these two that were like grouping with me or squatting with me was like way up there. Like, one was level 30 and one was like, I think higher, but I don't remember what level, but they were just both higher than me. And when we dropped, I never choose a location because I haven't learned the map yet, so I usually just pass it on to the next person. And they chose the most populated drop you could possibly get for that round, because it's different for every round, but you can tell usually what spots will be popular even before people drop, or you could just tell because when people drop, they have rainbow trails, and just look for the rainbow trails. So they chose to follow the rainbow trails. But when we dropped, the two just ran in different directions, and I didn't know who to stick with. So my first priority was to get a gun, but that was everybody's first priority. So by the time I got a gun, everybody had a gun, and it became like a free-for-all for me because my team had dipped. And my thing is, if you're gonna drop someplace, choose a place that we can loot, not like ditch, because they both went in like one state, but was like too far from me, and another one just went a whole different location. And I guess he just didn't like the drop, but yeah, sometimes randoms are frustrating. And it's like harder to win with randoms. I can't carry, sometimes I can if they're worse than me, but very few people are worse than me. If anything, I get carried. But that's all video games, right? You risk the chances of playing, like, you win some, you lose some. That's the point of making friends and finding ones that you want to play with. But I guess that's why Battle Royale's not really for me. I heard there was a solo mode for Apex Legends at one point, but I didn't get to play it because I was busy. So I didn't get to experience solo mode in Apex, but maybe they were testing it out. I wonder how it went. Maybe they'll implement it in the future. I'm going to sleep. Good night, guys. 18 is fast asleep. Powders now. I'm running out of things to talk about, which is like sad and bad. And I guess this will be the video. We didn't get to see. No, really? That last one too had to be a critical hit. Skip Bloom. That sucks for me. Just because of that, I'm gonna overkill Skip Bloom, you know. Just Flame Charger at level 26 and a level 39 Flame Charge. Just unnecessary Bullet Seed and unnecessary critical hit. Oh, my rolls. Okay, I think that's a sign, guys, that you guys didn't really get to see last Delta evolution, which I'm excited for in this episode. But I'm gonna level her up and behind the scenes like I usually do, and don't worry, I'll do it just enough right before she evolves so that we can all catch Delta evolution together. And we'll continue this video in the next episode, and I plan on evolving Ralts in her final evolution, visiting Reside Desert where everyone keeps talking about green-hooded suspicious people, which I have a feeling we're gonna see some cultists. And there's a cave up in Coral Town I didn't get to check out, and I'll check it out with you guys, but I want to prioritize leveling up my Pokemon first because my team's not looking too good right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I did a training, just chatting with you guys video. I think I did just one before in my Pokemon Phoenix Rising playthrough, but I kind of just wanted to chill and not think too much. And I'm sorry if you didn't care for it, but thank you for watching the whole thing. if you made it this far. I appreciate it. I just really wanted to get that Pokemon Sword and Shield because there was someone who asked about it and if I was gonna make an ASMR playthrough about it. Which I don't know if I talked about actually. Okay. I'll do it real quick. The ASMR play, I'm definitely getting the game. I'm getting a new Switch first because that new model with the longer battery, I just want it. And the game, definitely getting it. It's a new game. I try to get them all. As for the playthrough, I've never recorded Switch gameplay before, so that's something I have to figure out first. But if it's like PS4 or any other console, I'll probably 90% sure making the playthrough because I've recorded PS4 gameplays before. So I don't know how soon I'll be able to do that though, because I'm still doing this playthrough and there's the whole figuring it out. So I know the game comes out on the 15th. I'm not really sure how fast I can start uploading the gameplay, so it might be kind of old by the time I do. So yeah, that's just a heads up of Pokemon Sword and Shield and my channel. 90%, I'm 90% sure I will put it up on this channel. That 10% is if I can't figure out a way to record it, or schedule wise I want to just finish Insurgents first, but I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay, this is way too long of an outro. I'm really sorry. For now, I hope you are